Hi guys. My computer usually freezes. There we go. So just listen until it unfreezes. I'm going to show you how to make a textile. We're going to weave today. And if you're not sure what a textile is, it's any kind of cloth that's weaving together. It can be fake, like synthetic fibers, or natural fibers, like cotton, like your shirt that you're wearing is a textile. So we are going to weave a textile according to ancient Aztec techniques, which is pretty cool. We're going to do it by hand. We don't have a loom or anything like that. But what you are going to need in order to do this by hand is one of these. Remember this? Pencil. You might need some tape. You are definitely going to need a pair of scissors and a ruler. I don't have a ruler. All I have is a tape measure. So I'm going to use a tape measure just to make sure that my weaving strips are even. Okay? You are also going to need the all-important textile. Okay, 2 pieces of paper. They can be colored paper, they can be white paper. It's totally up to you, whatever you have on hand. Okay, to get started, we are going to fold our piece of paper. We're going to hold it hot dog style. We're going to fold it in half like this. And I'm going to take my ruler, tape measure, and I'm actually going to measure out the strips. I'm going to make my strips, I don't know, like 1.5 inches long. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inches all the way across my piece of paper. I'm going to mark it with my pencil. Like that. So now I have these lines. Now it's okay. I don't know if you can see them. See them? There they are. Okay. 1.5 inches across. It's okay if you have a little left over at the end. We can fix that later. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut where those lines are. Actually, yeah, just like this. Okay. Now you're not going to cut all the way off. You're not going to cut all the way to the end. You're going to leave a little bit of space at the end like that for the weave. Okay, so you're almost making like a little bit of a fringe, right? So as I cut this, we can talk about the importance of textiles during Aztec times. Now, Aztec civilization was made up of a bunch of different tribes, conquered tribes. One of the most prolific, one of the biggest, were the people called the Nahuas. And the Nahuas used textiles a lot. They would give them to warriors as gifts for good luck. They would give them to their leaders, their kings and queens, as gifts. They were even so valuable that people used to pay taxes with them. You didn't need money. You could use your beautiful textile, your pattern, as money to pay for taxes. So when I cut all these slits, it's going to end up looking like this, okay? Almost like all these different holes, right? Okay, that's one. I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to cut the same way as I did before on my second piece of paper. So hold on one second, guys. So now I've got, here we go, the freezeries. Freezy McFreeze again. Let's wait till I just listen to my talk. Oh, there we go. Listen to my talking. So now I have 2 pieces of paper that look exactly the same. I'm going to take either my first piece or my second piece. Doesn't matter. And I am going to actually finish the cut. So it goes all the way. So like this, and it's going to look like a big, huge fringe. This is going to make it way easier for us to do a weavy weave, right? So if I cut like this, one more, you can do the same. Now remember, if you need to rewind or fast forward, if you're like a master weaver already and you know what to do, go for it. And you can make yours if you like more complex or less complex. It's totally after you. If you want to weave less, you can make the strips thicker, right? Bigger. So now I am going to choose what colors. I'm going to choose orange and yellow, okay? And I am going to line them up, one piece of paper this way and one piece of paper sideways like this, okay? So it's going to look like this when I lay it down, and I'm going to show you. Let's see how we can do this. There we go. Show you how to weave. I'm going to start with my very first strip at the top, and I'm just going to do like an under-over kind of thing. So I'm going to go under, over, under the next piece, over, under, over, right? I'm going to do the same. I'm going to start opposite now with my second piece. So I started under, over. Now I'm going to go over, under. Ooh, it's fascinating. Over, under, over, under, over, under. And I'm going to do this all the way down. Work my way all the way down, rotating. Okay, so I'm going to pause here. I'm going to finish it so you can see what it looks like when it's all weaved around. All right, so I finished my little weaving action, and this is what the finished product, or not the finished product, but this is what it's going to look like next. And actually, I didn't even realize, but look how sweet that side looks too. Woohoo! Go, Miss Ellen. I'm like an expert weaver. Anyway, so yours potentially could look like this, and like I said, you could actually add other colors. Maybe I want to cut up some green strips and weave some green strips or pink strips into it. Totally fine, totally awesome. Be as creative as you want, okay? What I'm going to do now is add the finishing touches. So now that I have my weaved board, I can cut up the ends and make them look nice and neat. What I'm going to do is just take my scissors and cut this end off. Now I'm going to do this to make it just look neater. Do you have to do it necessarily? No, but whatever. It's up to you. And then what I can do, cut this side. I'm going to leave a little space left over because I'm going to tape it, because tape's amazing and it fixes a lot of things like your weaving textiles, okay? So here we have it, and then I can, with these little pieces, fold over like this and then just tape it, right? Fold over like this. And that way they kind of stay in place a little bit better. Okay? Now there were a lot of symbols in ancient Aztec, and they would decorate their textiles with different symbols and images. So the next step, once you have your beautiful textile, is to choose a symbol that you want to use to represent something from Aztec times. So you want to maybe research Aztec symbols. What I'm going to do, I chose the yellow and orange side because I decided a long time ago when I started that I wanted to do a symbol of the ancient sun god on my textile. Okay, you can, if you like, do multiple symbols, maybe on some of the little squares, or you could do one big one. I'm going to choose to do one big one, and then I'm going to explain to you why I did that and what my symbol means, okay, or what it could have meant potentially for the ancient Aztecs. All right, so I'm going to pause, and when I get back, there'll be this beautiful, hopefully, ancient Aztec symbol that I can talk to you about. Okay. So, what's happening here? Oh. Such technology these days, guys. So I quickly drew a rough draft with my pencil first so I could erase any mistakes. There's a close-up of it. So this is a picture of the sun god. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to pretty it up, right? I am going to outline it in marker. Hold on one second. Okay, so I outlined it in marker. It's not my best work, but it is a really good example of textiles and the importance of symbolism on the textiles. If we were ancient Aztecs, this would be all beautiful, beautiful colors. I mean, the orange and yellow are pretty awesome, but this would all be detailed in different colors too. They were fabulous and very talented weavers. And this, my friends, is my interpretation from an image I looked up of the sun god. And you can actually Google as ancient Aztec symbols, and a bunch of things will pop up, and you can take a look at a few. I chose this because the sun was incredibly important to ancient Aztecs, and I bet you, a lot of you could guess why, right? They needed the sun for their plants and crops to grow. So this would be an image that I would create. Maybe if I were a farmer, if I worked the fields, I would want something like this in my home to give thanks and to praise the sun god so that they would, or so that he would shine sunshine down on my crops so I'd have a good crop. Okay, so this is what you might want to consider for your own textile. Okay, there's a lot you can do with it, so have fun and be as creative as you want. I can't wait to see them.